Moon Podcast Escalation! Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan D. White.
My name is Chris Sims, and this is Sailor Business. It's the podcast where we watch every single episode of the classic 1990s anime Sailor Moon, and we talk about why it is that we love it so much. And this is our ultimate episode of our penultimate guest before we're done.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
very
forever.
exciting. Forever. We get to go to heaven, as I've often said. We are watching episode 198 of Sailor Stars. And to help us do that, we have brought back our very, very special guest, Betty Fellon. Betty, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. You guys, do you know what today is?
Is it Purge Night?
No.
Ides of March.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is the
Oh,
Ides
it's
of
the
March,
Ides of
correct?
yeah.
But no, there's a bigger, more important holiday today.
What's that?
It is Naoko Takeuchi's birthday today.
Is it?
What?
Yeah.
We're terrible fans.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we were really good about that, like the first year or two that we did the show. We were like, it is Sailor Moon's birthday, it is Naoko Takeuchi's birthday. Yeah, well, happy birthday, Naoko Takeuchi. I have your art tattooed on my body forever.
You know, it's also David Cronenberg's birthday.
All right.
And
I don't want to watch that crossover.
a lot of famous people have this birthday, actually. Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
Oh, I miss him.
Well, don't worry, he's not dead.
Oh, good.
God
Jordan used to be in
forbid.
Blink-182 is the thing. You didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, it's totally true. I was their middle drummer for like 10 days. False.
Was that your purge crime?
Yes, pretending to fraud.
You just lied about being in Blink-182 for like...
I grifted so many people. That's
Shocking.
interesting. Grifting. Can you grift on Purge Night?
Oh my
Wow.
god, we're not. It was before we started recording the show. We cannot keep doing Purge jokes.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, happy birthday to Naoko Takeuchi, and to celebrate Naoko Takeuchi's birthday, Betty, have you done any Sailor Moon related things in your life lately?
Well, I mean, I guess continuing with my theme of like making Sailor Moon or turning my Sailor Moon knickknacks into jewelry. I finally made myself a pair of Black Moon Clan earrings, which I've been wanting since I was like a kid. And I finally like just sat down and made them, and I was like, wow, I feel whole. But yeah, like otherwise, honestly, like, so when we watched this episode, I really wanted to finish the last two, but I knew that I would probably accidentally talk about those two episodes when discussing this one. So I've been like excited to get to this episode of the podcast so that I could finish the rest of Sailor Stars once we're done.
Because you caught up before you came on the show.
Yeah, so it was like it was like a week, like a straight week or week and a half of just like binge watching Sailor Stars, and then I had to stop right before the end, and
That's
I'm like,
funny.
yeah, it's like Sailor Stars edging.
Well, good news, because the thing is, I know that it's a bad place to stop because things look pretty rough for the Sailor Scouts right now, but it's okay. It's all a trick. It's all just a clever trick, a ruse, if you will. I did not watch the second half of this episode, so I assume it remains a clever trick throughout the whole thing, and that the rest of the next two episodes are just like, let's go to Crown and get fruit parfaits.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Good. I hope nobody gets violently murdered in this episode. For instance, that would be a real bummer.
Oh, I don't want to tell him.
Mm. Well, I wonder what the title of the episode is.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to say that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get
Okay,
around.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Tell me how to do the show. I've been here 6 years.
What's the math on that? 6 years.
Yeah, started
like we haven't-
in late 2014. So over 6. We're coming up on 7.
The world was a different, and in some ways better, and in some ways worse place.
Buddy, was it ever?
All right. Well, what else did we talk about at the beginning of the show?
That's kind of it.
That's it.
Happy birthday to Naoka Takeuchi.
Yeah, happy birthday to the queen.
We used to do Twitter questions.
Yeah, we stopped doing those though. I wonder why.
I wonder. It's strange.
His decision to stop doing those because I hated them. It was.
Oh, do people ask stupid questions? No
Oh,
offense.
no.
to
No,
people who
that's
ask
not what it was
questions.
at all. In fact, well, first of all, I would say no. Second of all, in some ways, I would say you didn't decide we should stop because
You stop asking us questions because
we kept doing them long after you said you didn't want to do them anymore.
much like this show in general.
But I think it's just that I think the biggest reason we don't do them anymore is because I'm really not on Twitter anymore.
Oh yeah, because Twitter's bad. It's a bad
Yeah.
website.
Now, at this point, Chris is on Twitter more than I am.
I'm not though. Like
More than I am.
I'm on there. Like it is a broadcast only for me.
I go on Twitter like once every 2 weeks to put up our show, if that, and if every 2 weeks, and that's it. That's it.
And I assume your life is measurably worse, right? No.
The answer is it is not measurably worse, really, but I do miss Twitter. It's just I miss Twitter from 5 or 6 years ago, not Twitter from now.
I do go in and check to see if anyone's saying anything, and like for instance, we're doing a poll on my other show, War Rocket Ajax. We're doing a poll on that Twitter account to see what the next video game review I write is going to be. So I've kind of got to pay attention to that, but that's about it.
Someone tweeted at the Sailor Business account an animation cell of that little tuxedo mask doll. It's like the little chibi tuxedo mask doll, but it's like the animation cell. It's so cute, and it's over $300.
Oh, are you gonna buy it? Actually, you know what? You've just revealed that I'm a liar because I actually did go on Twitter for one other reason, which is that on March 11th, 4 days ago, I finally got around to framing the amazing underdrawing of Luna acting sorry, and I took a picture and posted it on the Sailor Business Twitter.
Yeah, see, you can go on Twitter if you're a brand.
I know, but I just don't. I don't want to. Most of
Yeah,
the time.
no, it's a bad website. But hey, you're not bad. The people who interact with the Sailor Business Twitter account are not bad, especially if they follow the link to the Patreon that's on there.
All your mentions are very pleasant on Sailor Business.
No, you're right. I never have had a bad experience with Sailor Business Twitter, for sure. That's for sure. And you know what? I was actually I just recorded a podcast last week with a gentleman who started his X-Men podcast because he's such a huge fan of Sailor Business. So that was a delight.
Wow.
It's a podcast called Powers of X-Men. So I imagine
it's actually Powers of 10 Men.
Sure, yeah, all of them.
Well, if that's all we got, then let's do it. Let's perform the primary function of this show.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Jake, I cannot upload tracks to this new Zencaster soundboard right now, so. No, that's the eye catch. Hang on.
Nope. Yeah, you're playing the wrong song. And playing, I mean singing.
I don't remember how this one goes.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you got it. Okay. This week, we are watching episode 198 of Sailor Stars. It is called
Uh-oh.
Dying stars. Uranus and Neptune's last stand? Oh no. I should have watched the second half of the episode.
So they're probably sitting for
yeah.
rest of the season.
This is great because I'm reading the episode information off of Wikimoon, and the photo for this episode is captioned, Neptune and Uranus realize their plan has failed. It was written by Atsushi Meikawa. The director was Junichi Sato, and the animation director was Yoshihiro Kitano. It originally aired on January 25th, 1997, and it's a rough one, buddy. Tell you who's not having a good time.
Who?
Usagi Tsukino.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bad time for her right now.
Yeah, things are going poorly. So
things are going poorly indeed.
Are we just jumping into this? I think we are, right?
Oh, I guess we got to do the title though.
Oh yeah, we didn't do the title thing.
Because in our last episode we forgot to do Sailor Business Says.
Sorry.
So we can't forget to do our other recurring bit, which is coming up with the bad American dub name for this episode.
Right. What do we got? What do we got for this one? Let's see.
Betty, do you have a bad American dub title for this episode? As though it was dubbed by our friends at Cloverway and Deke in the 90s.
No, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at creating Deke titles because I was going through all the old ones for the first season just to like prepare for this, and I was like, yeah, they're usually just like a quick little, like they're the antithesis of a classic Sailor Moon title where it's usually almost like a whole sentence, like synopsis. Like this is like pretty straightforward, but I don't know what the Deke version. I mean, I'm sure you have one, Chris.
I've been trying to think, and like I thought about just calling it Michelle and Amara's Last Stand.
But they don't typically spoil things like that. Like I have a terrible name in my head, and it's terrible on all fronts. And the only one I'm coming because I was like, well, it should be something about it should be something about despair. So I was like, down and out despair.
That's so good, though. That's Jordan. That's the best one you've done.
It's awful.
No joke.
I'll take it.
Best one you've done.
Down and out despair. That's a terrible title. It's the kind of title that if I saw it on the episode, I'd go, "What?" Like that's dumb.
Especially after Sailor Traders.
Yes.
You're like, okay, it's Sailor Traders, and the next episode is Down and Out Despair.
Oh man. Well, let's do it. This is we're gonna try to keep it light for everybody, so it's not us just bringing you down for an hour.
What about a royal ruse?
Oh, what? Wait, no, she's queen.
Yeah,
is she? Wait, no, she's not.
Is she not a queen?
No,
well, she doesn't.
She sits on a throne, but she's not a queen.
She has a crown.
She's the ruler of the galaxy as well, but she doesn't.
Everyone has a tiara and a crown, but they're not all princesses.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think they are all princesses now that we've said that.
Oh, shit.
She would definitely be called like Queen Galactica.
No, first of all, Galaxia. Second of all,
no, I know that.
But like Deep would call her.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Betty. You got it.
Wouldn't they get sued? I guess not in the episode, as long as the show wasn't called that.
I mean, how old is the patent for Raggedy Ann, though?
Listeners, if you want to get that joke, go to our Patreon.
$5 and you too can be underwhelmed.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's do this. So where did we start?
Serena's bad day.
No, I mean, that's accurate. Running out of friends.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're on fire tonight with these. I gotta say.
All I need is 5 minutes, it turns out. I just shouldn't have waited to the last minute every time. Goodness gracious. So yeah, where we were left last time was in the evil space dimension at the top of the TV station where we have just found out that Uranus and Neptune murdered Saturn and Pluto in cold blood.
We also found out that Memory's fucking dead.
Oh, well, that was 2 episodes ago. But yes, Memoro's dead. All the inner Senshi are dead. Now 2 of the outer Senshi are dead. So it's just Sailor Moon and the Starlights and Chibi Chibi who are left. And yeah, Uranus and Neptune have pledged their allegiance to Galaxia in return for keeping them alive after she's taken their star seeds, which she has done. So it starts with Usagi saying, "I thought we were friends." Which, by the way, the first thing first, like, I mean, I know that's Usagi's power and all that, but part of me does want to go, "You did."
Did you? Yeah. Did you really think?
Because, like, even when they were allies with you, they weren't that friendly.
Yes, they were constantly gatekeeping who she could be friends with without fully elaborate. Like I'm all for friends being like, "Hey, I don't know if you should hang out with those people over there, but you're going to have to give me a reason if you're gonna come up to me and tell me that, you know?"
Sure.
I was really hoping that sentence was going to end with, "Look, I'm all for friends."
Look, I'm all for friends, but I'm not here to make them.
Can I just start this episode by saying, this episode really hammers home to me that, like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess I do. I don't understand why everybody loves Uranus and Neptune so much. I do, and it's because they are, well, let's put quotes around positive, but positive representation in many ways. But they're also like giant jerks whose purpose in the series across all seasons of it is to be wrong.
That is true, actually. Like, I had to think about it for a minute. Jordan, you're not wrong.
Like, that is what they have always done. And this episode really hammers it home for me. And we'll get into why as it happens. But, like, yeah, man, they are not they're not that positive of an influence in the show. I don't know. Except in the one spin-off episode in the special, which was, again, the best. Amazing. They should have their own series where they can be right. Just keep them away from Sailor Moon, because if they're anywhere near her, all they can do is be wrong.
I mean, also, we do know that that they are Haruka is really good at driving, and Michiru owns a helicopter, so they do have that at least.
They do. I mean, yes, they've got money. And if you ever need anybody to juggle a lemon with a violin, I know who you should call. But all right, so we'll get to it. Then Galaxia is like probably the line of the episode, right? Is it this early, or am I jumping ahead? Where she says to Sailor Moon, "Are you stupid?"
Well, yeah, you know, just gotta fill in for Haruka and Michiru. That's usually what they would say.
Yeah, it's this early. She's talking to them going like, "Come on, no, there's still good in you somewhere." And Galaxia's just like, "Are you stupid? Did you just not see? They killed your friends and their friends. They betrayed everything that they stood for. And you think they're going to be good inside? Like, that's dumb." Because that would be, I mean, honestly, that would be really ridiculous for them to literally murder their friends as part of their ruse. Like, that would be nuts.
It would be pretty wild.
It would be wild, for sure. Absurd, even.
It would be like the plan would have to be so much more complex and effective than that.
Right. Oh, of course. Because because it would just be them sitting there in the moment going, "Okay, we're outmatched. The only thing we can do is viciously murder good guys to look like we're bad." Like, and like, if there's no nuance beyond that, that's just a failed proposition from day one.
But you know, like, if it was, then I'm sure they would have some kind of like better
Oh, like a second twist.
Like a second twist of the plan, yeah.
Right.
Because if
Yeah,
it's
I'm sure.
just that, and then they would probably immediately be murdered,
Yeah. Right.
which is going to
So.
be the like a problem usually.
Well, plus,
for
if it was
them.
that, they would do it now. They would go, great, like now we've got the power, we'll just... Or even when they were asked to kill their friends, right? They wouldn't have
they would have
waited.
been like, "Hey, we're actually not going to kill our friends.
Right.
We'll just turn
like,
on you now."
Right, because what would be the advantage of getting the power? Because they got the power first.
Of having fewer people.
Right. What would be the advantage of getting the power, killing your friends to show that everything is on the up and up with your betrayal, waiting a couple hours more or like an hour more, and then like what? Yeah, why the wait? Why the delay? And that wouldn't make any sense.
So, like, is the understanding is that the bracelets are more powerful than their regular powers, or do the bracelets amplify their powers? Because it seemed like they weren't that, like, I couldn't tell, like, what I couldn't tell if there was like a power boost or if they just had to convincingly kill their friends.
I think there's a power boost.
As I understand it, the bracelets are both keeping them alive without
Oh yeah,
their
they don't have the star seeds. Yeah.
Right.
But they're also allowing them to like channel Galaxia's power. That's as I understand it.
But even that, that is how I understand it in these two episodes. But evidence from before these episodes goes against that, because evidence from before these episodes seems to suggest that the bracelets themselves change them.
Like the bracelets, like in the way that Iron Mouse,
right?
Or not Iron Mouse, Nyanko.
Yeah, Nyanko. Yeah, right. Like there is a change that is brought about in them. Like, so I was under the impression from then on that it's like, oh, they were like made evil by the bracelets. It's not just that they went, screw it, I'll just be evil. It's that something was done to them. Except these two don't have any physical or mental changes, seemingly, that happened to them because of this.
Right. They just, decide to do some murders.
Yep.
They're like, oh, we got our murder bracelets on. We got to murder.
Well, I mean, this is their MO.
These are friendship bracelets.
No, they are not friendship bracelets. And again, though, it's that they're, this is them being asked to do the thing that they constantly think is the right thing to do. So it's probably not that hard of a decision for them. Yes.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Which is also not been the right answer for them, though.
I mean, all of the times, except for... okay. The answer is all the time, except, I mean, yes, there was a time when Sailor Moon used to moondust things, but it was always very distinctly monsters. Whenever there's any question of, like, a person being involved, or even a monster who sometimes is a person, she would do nicer things to them.
I mean, that is correct.
They blast her, and
very casual.
Yeah, but good news, Chris. This is the part you wanted to talk about, right? This is your favorite part of the episode, right?
This is when we go into like a weirdly, strangely kind of pastel world, very dreamy looking, where not only Haruka and Michiru are there, but all the other Sailor Scouts and Usagi's dead ass boyfriend.
I remember why I wrote who I was lied to in my notes.
Well, wait, why?
Because of the scene.
What about this was a lie?
It's because of who shows up in this scene.
Oh yeah, Chibiusa?
Yes. I was told she would never appear again.
Do we actually, like, she doesn't speak though, does she?
Oh, she does.
Yeah, she does.
Does she? I thought she didn't.
She speaks, and then if she speaks, she speaks like 2 lines. Like it's tiny, and technically, spoiler, it's not really her. It's a dream. But I was like, in fact, she specifically talks about coming back from the 30th century, so she specifically does speak for sure.
My favorite thing about this this scene, because yes, it does. Folks, I have been playing a little bit of a trick on you.
Whoa.
I didn't actually think that this was real for a single second. It is nice that like it's not that it's a fake out, because it's not. It like very unconvincing, but I think it's not supposed to be a fake out. It's just like supposed to be like, this is how desperate Usagi is to believe that things are not as bad as they have ever been. And a thing that I really like about this is that even in her fantasy, Ray is still a jerk to her. Even in her everything's gonna be okay fantasy, Ray's still like, yeah, but you're a fucking dumbass. So.
Well, that's like the original Matrix, right? If Ray was like, "You're so smart and great," she would be like, "What's going? This isn't real. This isn't reality. What's happening?"
Right.
It would have thrown her off entirely.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not like the Matrix, because no one is trying to keep Usagi trapped in this fantasy. It is just for herself.
No, I know. But I meant in never mind. I don't want to talk about the Matrix.
You introduced. Okay.
I did. I brought it up and then I regret it. That's all.
All right. So yeah. Turns out that Usagi's dead ass boyfriend is not alive. He's dead.
That's the name. Yeah.
Dead as hell.
Psych.
The late Memoru Chiba is still late.
He'll be here soon.
I hope not, because I don't have the sound in the soundboard anymore.
So I don't know what happened.
Oh my god, he has tuxedo mask.
Do it everything verbally. I love it. Can you do the ring? So I don't know why World shook her into a dream, and I also don't know why she just like wakes up a little bit later. Like I don't know what happened, because yeah, then she wakes up and she's alone, and then we see that Uranus is there, and then all of a sudden, Starfighter comes like running in, and I'm like, wait, where was what happened while she was asleep? And we don't know. Apparently, they separated them a little bit.
Apparently, it's tough to say.
It is.
I'll be honest. I'm not too clear on the events of this episode. There's a lot going on.
Here's what I'm learning about Sailor Moon the more we do it.
Okay, so it's good that you're learning something now.
Well, we've been doing it a long time, but the part of it is because the thing that we're doing, the podcast we're doing, isn't conducive for the purest and truest enjoyment of Sailor Moon.
Yeah, because I shouldn't be doing this.
We should not be doing this. Sailor Moon is best enjoyed on an emotional level, not an intellectual level at all.
I get pretty emotional on this show.
No. And that's good. And that's what I'm saying. But I think the fact that what we are literally engaged in is talking through the events, that's not going to help us.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like, an explanation does not help.
No. That's why this works as a comedy podcast where we laugh about Sailor Moon. And everybody should understand that we do love Sailor Moon, even though we do laugh at it and with it sometimes.
People don't understand at this point that we love Sailor Moon.
Yeah, it's pretty far in, isn't it?
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Emotional level, yes.
Yes, that's what I'm learning. Like engaging, being open to it emotionally and feeling Sailor Moon, it is amazing. And then as soon as you start like really trying to like think about what is happening and why, it kind of falls apart. A little bit.
Fair.
Okay.
Continue, please.
All right. Well, that's it. That was what I learned. That's, by the way, Sailor Moon says. So I'll save that for later. So yeah, the Starlights run up again because apparently they just kind of separated them all for the fun of it. They run up. They're like, "We're gonna stop you." Neptune comes up and she's like, "Oh yeah, you think so? Because that doesn't sound likely." And they're all saying that they're a bunch of idiots. I mean, a lot of this episode is people calling each other dumb.
Yeah, it is.
That's the underlying love language in Sailor Moon. Is a lot of,
Yeah, trash piles. Absolutely.
It's a lot like this show, honestly.
Oh,
That's
a
true.
good point.
Jordan's always mean to me for no reason.
I mean, no reason. Hey, Uranus and Starfighter have a physical fight, like a contest of strength fight, like, and Uranus gut punches Starfighter,
Pretty dope.
landing her on the floor. Yeah. Again, not a thing we normally see, but they know their attacks aren't going to work anymore, so they're like, let's just go settle this with fists.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Oh yeah.
Well, no, go ahead. I'll ask in a second.
Oh, I like questions.
No, to finish your thing, I will.
Well, that was it. I mean, so then Uranus, but Uranus wins. Like Uranus is also better at fists than Starfighter.
What? Sailor Star Fighter
Mm-hmm. Fight stars,
presumably
obviously,
has one job:
to fight.
to fight. If you're not good at that,
Oh, she's good at that normally. I mean, let's not forget the Starlight's attacks are leagues better than any of the Inner Senshi's attacks.
I don't know.
Inner Senshi's attacks will bounce off things, and then the Starlights will show up and be like, "Oh, now we've actually stunned it. Now you can kill it, Sailor Moon."
You say that, but remember in the movie when they just like did a massacre?
Well, that was like a level 3 monster.
Okay,
Like
all right.
these are much. They always level up. That's why she has to keep leveling up. You know this. You've seen
Hey,
this,
Hey, can I ask you a question?
of course.
And Betty, feel free to answer as well.
Yes,
Mhm.
please do.
Why is Chibi Chibi here?
Oh, I mean, you'll find out.
Yeah, you'll see.
Will I?
Of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's a reason.
Chibi Chibi is Usagi's Tyler Durden.
Can't wait for a bunch of dudes in college to misinterpret this episode of Sailor Moon. Build their personalities around it.
No, that's not the actual answer. I don't think.
It's just like I have a lot of questions, but I mean, like, why is she here in general? But also, why did Sailor Moon bring a baby to this murder fight?
That is an amazing question. Now, first of all, first question is, did she? Let's think about this. It's been a few episodes.
Okay.
Did she bring Chibi Chibi?
Didn't Chibi Chibi transport them at some point? Like
Maybe.
Like it felt like
Yeah.
she was transporting them like back and forth to this area.
I think you might be right. The only thing about that is, in order for her to do that, they had to bring her into the evil television station, which already seems like an odd choice. Why didn't they leave her with the cats?
They did initially, and then she just showed up, I think.
Okay. All right. So then that explains it. That would do it.
Yeah.
And Chris, let's not forget, I'm going to talk about this towards the end of the episode even more, but let's not forget everyone in the world is decrystalled now. So it's not like leaving her outside would have been a good idea.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because they're all like presumably ghouls, like
Yes.
like different type of sailor monsters.
Presumably.
It just seems like a bad idea, that's all.
It is. It doesn't make a ton of sense. And this is what I'm talking about. On an emotional level, if you watch this and all you do is absorb the fact that there's a betrayal and hurt and desperation, it will be very effective. But as soon as you start questioning why those things are happening.
Okay.
Why is the question of the devil? You may not ask it.
What is that from, Jordan? Because that, I gotta say, amazing.
I just made it up right now.
Did you really?
Yes.
Why is a question of the devil? You are not allowed to ask it. Jordan, write that down.
All right. Let's make t-shirts again.
And it just has a picture of Chibi Chibi on it.
Chibi, this is why is the question of the devil is that's it. done it again.
Okay, let's make this shirt, man. Let's do it. Somebody draw it for us.
Going out with a bang.
So anyway, the fist fight apparently gets old to Uranus because then she does more big attacks. In fact, I think, wait, hold on. That's right. They do World Shaking and Deep Submerge at the same time, and it turns into like a giant power volcano eruption. Like it shoots a enormous laser up into the sky, which is okay. I wasn't expecting that. But the baddies, former goodies, are fine, obviously, and everybody else is lying on the ground. And by ground, I mean roofs of tall buildings, wounded.
It's not. They're not having a good time. No one's having it. Like, I guess Galaxia is having a good time, but
Galaxia is currently having a great time. She expresses that.
She expresses it, but like, I don't think she's feeling it.
Doesn't she like laugh and stuff?
I mean, yeah.
She like announces, she's like, "Wow, I love that I get to watch you guys fight. Like that's fun." She's like having a ball, but she also seems like she's really bored.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Jordan, from experience, you can definitely laugh your way through having a bad time.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I read Spider-Man.
Chris, are you okay?
No, clearly not. But thank you for asking.
So Sailor Moon's like, everything's gonna be all right. Galaxia's like, yeah?
You sure?
Take a look at everything else.
Because I'm looking around.
And yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, we get a shot of Sailor Moon being very surprised, and she looks out, and then she kind of sees, I guess she sees how bad everything is out there, but I don't know what she's actually seeing that is making her that shocked, because it's just like, it's very dark, and there's lightning. There's black lightning.
I mean, that, like, if you saw that, you would probably be a little alarmed.
I would be alarmed, but I wouldn't be like, oh, she's right. Fighting is futile. Like, I'd be like, what is happening?
I mean, you probably would be, but it's not like the 5th time you've seen that.
Sure.
Yeah, so I guess that takes us into our act break. Hey, Jordan.
Yeah?
Hey, Eddie.
Yes.
You guys having a good time?
Yeah.
Well, if
you
our
sounded
listeners...
a little hesitant. Are you sure?
Yeah, there was like a little bit of a moment there, Betty.
I just feel like I'm very low energy from like the time switch this weekend.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I know it's just 1 hour, but you know.
It hex you up to Goofenstein, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I personally got hit the same way. But you know what I would like to get hit with?
Money.
Cash money, baby.
Okay.
And if people want to make that happen, how exactly can they go about that?
All they have to do is go to patreon.com/sailorbusiness. There they can sign up to be a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month, for as much as $60,000 a month, or any amount in between. I think you said for $5 a month, they get to hear a lot of like ridiculous outtakes, but mostly us just kind of shooting the breeze before the show starts. I remember people back in the day saying, we want to hear a live feed of you recording the show. This is not quite that. Well,
no, you don't. You absolutely don't.
You don't. But this is the next best thing because it's any of the interesting things we talked about that isn't Sailor Moon. Anyway, that's all you got to do. And we really appreciate it because it makes this show possible.
That's right. I do not have any new names to read out today.
Then thank you to all the... Let's do all the old ones then.
Okay. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
For some reason, people don't seem to want to be jumping on the Patreon here 2 episodes before the end of the show. But
that's weird.
Hey, we're still doing Xena Business. Xena Business got 3 more seasons in it.
Oh, wow.
Y'all.
Wow.
But no, thank you, seriously, to everyone who has jumped on to support the show and stick with us as we roll towards the end. It's very fun. I'm excited to get to these last 2 episodes because, again, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea how this show is going to end. It's going to be
Can't wait.
wild. I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited about it.
You're going to be surprised, I think.
I'm almost certainly, because I don't know what's going to happen. Literally anything could happen, and I would be surprised.
There's one thing in particular that I definitely remember, and it will probably surprise you for sure.
Is it that Usagi's dead-ass boyfriend is not actually dead?
No, that is not what it is.
Okay, good.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm saying that's not the thing that will that will surprise you. We'll see. We'll see. And come on, can't we call him fiance by now?
There's a lot of things we could call him. Don't forget. I haven't forgotten.
I know.
But seriously, thank you to everyone who is supporting the show and who's supporting Xena Business. We're close enough now that I think we can say this at least. We do have something planned for after the 200th episode of Sailor Moon. We are going to take a little bit of a break, I think, from Sailor Biz, but there are some things we've been talking about doing for quite a while that I think we're gonna do since we have reached the end of this particular Sailor Moon show. And then who knows? But thank you for listening. Do we want to talk about anything else? We got anything else to talk about?
No other business, I don't think.
All right. Well, we should get back to it then.
Agreed. So they're all standing up on air conditioning ducts on the top of a Tokyo skyscraper, laughing at each other as always. This is another episode that has some slow bits where things don't happen as quickly as we are used to.
Yeah. We don't even have transformation scenes. Everybody's transformed.
Oh, yeah. No, everybody's been transformed for, 3 episodes now? This is the 3rd in a row?
Yeah, so they just kind of gotta stand around.
And all their attacks have been useless. So even just doing a bunch of attacks is silly. Okay, so here's where it goes. Galaxia's like, all right, this has been fun, everybody, but let's just do this. Let's take their star seeds. A thing that we could have done at any time. I just was kind of going shits and giggles. Let's see what happens if we just make them unhappy for a while. Let's just do it though. Let's pull the plug. Kill them. Get the star seeds. Got a collection. It's waiting. And that's when it finally happens. Answering the call from a new... What is it? I can't remember what the phrase is.
Call of a new era, and then also answering the call of a new era, which is my favorite. Like they say.
The Outer Senshi theme song comes on. They turn on Galaxia. They blast her with her own power, and she goes, "Ha ha 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 ha! Oh my god, you guys fell for that. What is wrong with you?"
Yeah, LOL. It's my power, genius.
It's funny, guys, she says. It's funny. I when you murdered your own friends in cold blood, I actually thought you really had turned. So that's kind of funny. That makes you kind of unique. That you are, you really go that far. That's saying something. Anyway, I'm going to kill you both.
That's your entire plan, it seems.
And they got her. She was if this was an episode of Punk'd, it would have been a success, but that's not what it was. Sorry. That was a terrible thing to say. Sometimes the spur of the moment things are not as good as the devil's question.
It's beautiful, I gotta say. That's gonna be the title of this episode, no question.
That entire quote.
Yes. Why is the devil's question?
Oh, that's just that part. That's perfect. It's gonna be Anyway, so it was a failure, as rightly so. Again, it makes no sense. Why did they kill Pluto and Saturn?
Yeah, that is the extent of their plan, and it goes as well as it could have possibly gone.
They absolutely could have done the exact thing they just did now when she told them to kill Pluto and Saturn instead of waiting for her to tell them to kill Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they had used their bracelets and Pluto did Dead Scream and Saturn did that big move that obliterates everyone? Like
Yeah.
they could have done a big combo move with the bracelets.
Could have at least made a go of it.
Or like they aim the bracelets at Pluto and Saturn and then turn like they could do the ruse, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yes, all of that is possible. But instead, they thought it'll be more dramatic if we've already murdered some friends of ours when we when we reveal the trick. It'll land better.
Here's my favorite part of this is that Haruka says, I have no regrets, and then immediately falls over dead.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Not
like
one?
I think we all have that codependent couple friend. Like we all know a codependent couple who will just like hype each other up about their bad ideas.
Okay.
And like you're just kind of like, well, they're off doing that thing and we just have to watch them spiral, you know? Like I think that that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's so a bummer. Because well, like I said, their entire existence in this show is to be wrong. They are the bad example. And all they do is go, no, Sailor Moon, here's how things really should be done, and be wrong. So this is the same MO. They go, oh, I've got an idea. And they even say it when they die, they go, hey, you know what? This is just our way of doing things. If somebody puts a problem in front of us, we're like, what's the best solution? That still involves murder. If it doesn't involve murder, well, you could just take her deal and then turn on her. Wait, but I haven't murdered anybody yet? Okay, well, then you could take the deal and then murder your friends and then turn on her. Great. That'll probably be the best way because it involves murder first. And as far as we can tell, that's the best plan. Is a plan that involves us killing someone in cold blood.
Listen, to a pair of lesbians with a sword, every problem looks like it can be
Murdered.
solved by murdering it with a sword.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a bummer. Yeah, like I mean, so like honestly, it's not, obviously it's not as bad for their characters as if they had just legitimately betrayed everyone that they cared about outright entirely. That would have been the worst thing. That would have made me really say, wait, seriously, why does anyone like them? But this is a close second because again, they have the thing they have is that they love each other because they do have the dying, we got to touch each other's hands one last time, which is
that part is like really that's
Yeah.
good stuff. That
and
is
again,
high quality content.
it's Sailor Moon where you appreciate it emotionally and you don't think about the circumstances that got them there.
I mean, I think there's something to be said about the fact that, like, you guys have pointed out that Neptune and Uranus are often constantly suspicious and giving kind of the wrong advice or being overly wary without explaining and kind of doing things on the side without kind of letting everyone else know what's going on. But similarly to how like Rei will always be antagonistic towards Usagi, I do think that maybe that's part of Uranus and Neptune's like fated dynamic in the group where maybe they're just a disaster couple where like they know that they're going to have to do something very, very extravagant and very extreme to kind of, because that's like their role in the group. I mean,
the thing is that they don't have to do those things. They think that and they're wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe that's just like similarly to how like Saturn's role in the group is kind of to be a bomb, you know, like
Sure.
at any given time. I wonder if the outer senshi are supposed to kind of represent the less stable aspects of like a friend group where like you can't really account for some of them, but they're trying to do what they think is best for the group.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
don't
no, I see
know.
what you mean.
You know,
I mean,
like
we joke a lot about them being X-Force to the Inner Senshis X-Men, but the difference there, obviously, is that X-Force gets to be the heroes of the X-Force comic. You know what I mean? They get a comic that goes, it's about them, and even though, yeah, are they questionable in some ways? Sure, but like we're gonna do a comic that celebrates them in that way. Whereas in this, they only get to appear in the Sailor Moon series where they are wrong.
yeah.
I really do. I mean, I say all that, and then I also would still absolutely watch the spinoff. Please give them a spinoff. Please give them their spinoff. I would watch
Yeah,
the
because
shit
we
out of it.
want them to be like we want them to be fun and cool.
Yeah, that's when they're
so
great.
good at that one.
That's when they're great. And honestly, even if the show where they are the leads involves them murdering someone every episode because it's the right thing to do, I'm not even going to complain. I'm going to be like, yeah, in the world of this show, they're right. But if Sailor Moon ever guest stars, it's going to destroy that entire program because it will reveal that it was all wrong. Oh well.
So speaking of things going all wrong,
We're down just to Sailor Moon, and the Starlights are the only starseeds left on planet Earth. Here's the problem. It's right around this time in the episode that I realized that, and this all adds into the stuff I've been talking about all episode about emotional and versus sensible. Like, it made me realize, like, this entire season really doesn't make any sense at all, and it is silly if you look at it in any way. Because everything that Galaxia is doing now in the show, there's no reason that she didn't do it first thing.
yeah, I feel like she could have very easily just done all of this already.
Yeah, she could have rolled up on Earth and gone, okay, let's start with everyone's starseed comes out. Okay, go. And anybody who is not a mindless monster now, those are the ones with the real starseeds. So let's go after them. Great. This is so easy. But for some reason she doesn't. And the question is, why? Why is it that she goes around ruling the galaxy, meaning she runs a TV station? What? Like what what is going on and why?
I think she enjoyed utilizing all of the turned sailors just to like see how what they would do and how they would like ruin people, and to kind of do her bidding, but it felt like she was just enjoying like seeing like using them all as pawns.
But what does she literally do all day?
I don't know like what her ultimate, like I don't know if urgency is like is important to her. It just seems like she's just kind of like, oh, I got these evil sailor scouts from other planets and solar systems, and I'm just going to call them on the phone and make them do things. So, you know, and then like watching her enjoying seeing Neptune and Uranus fight the other sailor scouts. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I think when the entire sensibleness of the season is based on the bad guy just whimsically feels like the season should happen, that's not the best justification. I'm not saying you're not doing a great job justifying it. I'm saying like that the show probably could have come up with a stronger answer than that. Chris, I'm going to say something that you're going to think I'm wrong about. I think, and probably both of you, but in that respect anyway, the horse season was better because at least in the horse season, the reason the bad guy doesn't do the end game stuff is because they need to find the horse. They don't find the horse until the end, so they couldn't do that stuff. In this season, ostensibly, well, we got to find those starseeds. Why? Well, she feels like it. Oh, okay. What are we going to do when we get them? Nothing. Is there an easier way to get them? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's a much easier way to get them, but we're not going to do that.
well, was the goal for her to find the princess starseed? Was that her goal? I mean, I know she wants all the starseeds.
Yes.
But like
I think that's the trick of the season. That's what I'm saying. Like we are led to believe they are searching. Well, actually, I don't even think that's true. Like you could try to interpret it that way, but I think I don't think that's true.
What? I think they're. I mean, I if I recall correctly, I think because she's looking for isn't she looking for the true starseed, or is it just every starseed?
That is what she's looking for, but that's because for the first bunch of the season, they're leading us to believe there's only one, and then I think that the pivot is, guess what? Every Sailor Scout actually has one.
Yeah,
and we've collected.
But I think they do wrap it up, and I think that there is like a goal.
No, right. All of that. The goal is to get all the starseeds, but she could have done that anytime she wanted, instead of tasking a bunch of minions that inevitably get it wrong to go and do it. All she does last episode was go, there we go. Everybody's starseeds out.
Then she just like pulled them out. Yeah.
Yeah. Every starseed was out.
All right. First of all, do not romanticize the horse.
I'm not romanticizing the horse. The horse was terrible, but there was a little bit more logic to it.
The horse was bad. On the balance, this season is better.
Jordan's such a horse romanticizer.
Oh God.
The second thing, I do think Galaxia arguably has the worst plan of any major villain we have seen.
She has no plan.
She because what does she want and why?
Well, the answer is nothing. She's a completionist. She wants every starseed because she wants them. There's nothing that she can't do right now because she doesn't have them all, as far as I can tell. There's nothing that having them all will allow her to do. Or maybe we will find out that there is. So I shouldn't go that far as to say there definitely isn't anything. But she's at the start of our knowing her. She is already the ruler of the galaxy and is kind of bored with it, apparently, because all she does is sit in her throne and yell at people.
Yeah, we know what Queen Beryl wants.
Right.
Queen Beryl wants energy for that ball and revenge. We know what Demand and Wise Man and all them want. We know what Ellen and Am want. They want to eat babies.
No, that's not what they want, but yes, okay.
It's close enough to what they want.
They want to feed the tree, as the 90s would tell you.
We know what I forget who's looking for the horse.
Nehelenia.
We know what Nehelenia wants. We unfortunately do know what Professor Tomoe wanted.
That wasn't Tomoe, to be fair.
And it was nasty.
That wasn't him. It was a monster that possessed him, but okay.
And what that monster wanted was nasty.
All of them had relatively straightforward plans, if simplistic and if contrived by the show. But the twist of it seems like the twist of the ending of Sailor Moon's last season is we were just going through the motions. We could have ended this at any time. There's no real reason for any of this to happen.
Is there any reason? Like, Galaxia has only existed in her little holodeck room, right?
That's well, not as of this moment, because now she's out on top of the buildings with them, blasting them.
Because I thought maybe that's what it was, but yeah, then she just leaves.
Yeah, she just shows up. That's just where she likes to hang out.
Wild.
And again, that's sort of playing off of our expectations from previous seasons, because they've established a pattern. Well, they need these artifacts to achieve their end goals, and they're probably trapped somewhere, and they're this, that, and the other thing. And the answer to this season so far, there might be some reveal in the next episode or two, but so far it's just no. She's just got to have them all. She wants all those crystals, and as you pointed out, Betty, she's not in a particular hurry, because it's kind of more interesting if that's happening instead of just normal ruling the galaxy, which again amounts to nothing. There doesn't actually seem to be any ruling happening.
Yeah, she's just sitting. She's just sitting while Neptune and Uranus have their last stand.
Yeah. She just has no... yeah, I don't know. This whole season turns out to just be, might as well. So maybe it makes sense that Sailor Moon just wants to ask her why she's doing all this.
I mean, we're wondering why.
Well, we do get one more reveal in the rest of the episode, and it is one that Chris guessed. So Galaxia, having, blown everything up again, calls out the scouts. Scouts come out, the remaining scouts. And she's like, great, you're going to give up? And Sailor Moon's like, no. No, obviously not.
Yes. I'm gonna carry this child up to you and you're gonna murder us.
And so then they mention a thing that we heard about a bunch of episodes ago. Yeah, no, we're going to carry out the light of hope as inspired by the legendary Sailor Guardian. And she's like, legendary Sailor Guardian, you're talking about the one who fought all evil and chaos and imprisoned it inside of herself? Oh man, it's been a long time since I heard that story. By the way, that was me. That was me.
Yeah, the reaction shots we get off that are fantastic.
They're very shocked.
Yeah, because they're in like a completely different, like they're so like sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's really nice actually.
So then she makes a giant sword appear and laughs about it.
Okay, can we talk about this sword?
Of course.
It's fucking huge. It is not only longer than Galaxia is tall, it is also wider than Galaxia. It is a truly gigantic sword.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, well, we don't get to see her like wielding it yet. So far, it's just floating above her. But
just going by the shot of it floating above her, like look at it.
It's enormous.
It's huge. It is the widest part of the blade, right above the crossguard, is wider than her waist.
Is that true? Oh, the crossbar.
No,
yeah, that's definitely
blade
true.
right above it.
Oh, the blade above it? Wow. I mean, it's hard to judge, but you might be right. It's definitely much thicker than her arm, for sure. Like by a lot.
I want nothing more than to see her use this sword.
I'm confident we're going to see that. I'm pretty confident we're going to see that. Although that would be kind of Sailor Moony to have a sword appear and then never use it.
Yeah.
We'll see. And that's the end of the episode. That's the Sailor Moon says no way, and then we're done.
Yeah, turns out that legendary Sailor Guardian, the mightiest guardian in the galaxy, was just Galaxia, Sailor Galaxia, not a queen, a sailor.
Well, she's
not
always
a queen,
been a sailor,
but a sailor, as beautiful and terrible as the dawn.
Never a queen, always a sailor.
We have so many good episode titles if Jordan hadn't dropped like a beautiful turn of phrase.
It was a good one. It was a good one. Just came from out of nowhere. At any rate, well, that's the end of that episode. Very, very emotionally effective episode. And a very mentally ineffective episode.
Yeah, and that means it is time for Sailor Business Says, where we talk about what we learned from this episode of Sailor Moon. And Betty, we will start with you as our guest. Betty, what did you learn from episode 198 of Sailor Stars?
What I learned from this episode of Sailor Stars is that you shouldn't kill your friends just to prove your point. Unless your point is that you want to kill your friends. That's
a really good point. Oh, wait, don't kill us to prove it, first of all, but that is a really good lesson to learn.
I won't just because you said that.
Thank you. That was close. Yeah, I will say, the problem is I said the thing I learned in the episode, which was that Sailor Moon is actually a show that is just emotionally experienced and not thought about. But beyond that, I mean, I learned yet again that murder is not the way in general, and that's about it. And I learned that I was lied to, and Sailor Chibi Moon showed up again. How about you, Chris?
I learned that's all going to be okay.
Oh.
Everything's fine. JK, it's terrible.
It was just a very elaborate trick.
It's any time that you feel like things are going okay, it's just a very elaborate trick. You need to constantly be on guard for that.
But maybe if you just look at it the other way, every time something's going bad, it's a very elaborate trick.
I have come around to liking this season a little bit, and I kind of like the Starlights even
Yeah.
a lot more now that they're just constantly like they have fucked up as bad as they could have possibly fucked up.
Sure.
But like the question of what does Galaxia want is one that we don't have an answer to, and now I will not be able to watch the rest of this season unless in the next episode, if in episode 109 she's like, "Good news, everyone! I finally got what I wanted, and here's why I had to do all of this stuff the way I did it."
It's entirely possible. I mean, listen, I'm not saying this from memory. Like, it is possible that next episode they'll say, once I have all the star seeds, I'll be able to purge the chaos from me, or some thing that
Now
she
that I
can
have
do.
all the star seeds, I can leave my holodeck room, and because I
Well, no, she already
bought
did
a
that. She already
television
left them.
station in the late 80s and ran it for the past 10 years.
she finds she creates Toei,
Love it.
and she's like, now I have the cast of my show, Sailor, and then just starts off with Sailor Moon episode 1.
Oh, that thing that always happens in any television show where someone goes into the arts, they end up making the show that you're watching,
Yeah.
or writing it as a book, or or painting it as a series of pictures or some shit. Yes, that's fair. It's a great listen. I spent a lot of time ragging on this just now. It's still great. Like it's still Sailor Moon, and I still love it, and I can't wait to watch the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, you guys are almost done.
It's absurd.
Yeah. And you have been here since the very beginning with us, Betty. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming back to spend a little time with us here at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
At the end of all things.
I can't believe that I'm just kind of in disbelief of how long you guys have been doing this podcast for, but I mean, I wasn't watching every episode along with you guys, but now I kind of like, once I'm done with watching the last 2 episodes of this, I kind of want to go back and rewatch all of Sailor Moon from the beginning, because I mean, what else am I going to do, you know?
I kind of want to go back through and put together like a top 10 and watch like the 10 best episodes and see how many of them are from season 1.
Well, you know, I think you weren't there when we did the episode where we picked the top 10 episodes of the first 100.
Yeah,
But-
you did that without me, but those were good episodes.
I mean, we probably should do one for the second 100, and then one that judges them all together.
We should do a bracket and let people vote.
Oh,
on
March Madness.
On what was the best.
Oh my.
March Metalia Madness.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, it is 6 minutes until it is another day.
Oh, we better stop.
We're one day closer to the purge.
That is
We're
true.
one day closer to the purge, and one day closer to the end of our 200 episode run through Sailor Moon. Betty, thank you so much. It is always a absolute joy to talk to you about Sailor Moon or about anything else. So, can you let everyone know where they can find you on